Happy Monday, students. So welcome to your first full week of English 112. This week I want to cover our Monday memo and go over some of your objectives for the week. So let me put my glasses on so I can read. So by now you should have a pretty good feel for our class Blackboard, and you should have completed those first couple of assignments that were due yesterday on Sunday. This week, you are going to begin to think about what it means to read and write in the different disciplines. Again, our course is called Writing in the Disciplines. So the focus of this class is to learn how to write within your various areas of study, academic study. So in order to do that, you want to start by coming over here to your Getting Started tab, and you are going to click into the Getting Started materials and begin by reviewing the introduction to the disciplines PowerPoint. I'm not going to go over that with you. It's a very much an informational PowerPoint that covers three main disciplines. I'm going to go ahead and open this PDF up though. Let's see if I can move that. That's okay, I'll just leave it like this. So we have what we generally think of as four areas of disciplines within the academic realm. So we have the humanities, that's literature, English, religion, creative writing. You can read through the list. We have social sciences, which encompasses all of your sociology, psychology, communications, things of that nature. And then finally, you have the natural sciences. And then over here, we have these applied sciences. So a lot of you have already thought a lot about the social sciences, either by taking these classes, which are very common classes for undergraduates or community college students to take, as well as in your 111 class. Often your research paper topic would have covered one of these disciplines. So for our class in this 112, our first assignment, our first major paper, and we only have two major papers, but they are big papers. The first one is the literary analysis essay. It's not unlike your visual rhetorical analysis that you probably remember from 111, only you will cover a short story and learn to analyze that short story. So we will do writing in humanities. Then the second half of the semester, we will do our second big assignment, which we will address writing within the sciences. And you will do a literature review paper, which will be a really useful paper for most of you when you go on. I know that that's one of the most common kinds of papers that students write. So, and we'll get to that in the second half, the second 8 weeks of the semester. So let me go ahead and click out of this. So you want to review this PowerPoint, which goes into a fair amount of depth with the with your various disciplines. Take a look at that handout. Then your second step, let me go back to our announcement. Your second step for the week is to get ready to write your critical reading journal entry. So this is your first graded assignment for the week. This will be your virtual attendance assignment. It'll be due Thursday. You are going to go ahead and listen to the linked podcast episodes. So we come back down to our Getting Started materials. We have two podcasts linked. It's called Write Like You Mean It, Critical Reading Episode 1 and Critical Reading Episode 2. Now these links will take you directly to the online version of the podcast. If for whatever reason you have a hard time, your computer blocks it, if you're a high school student, you can search up in your whatever platform you're using for podcasts, whether that's Spotify or Apple. You can search up Write Like You Mean It. This is what it looks like. This is what the cover art looks like. And you can find these episodes, like the critical reading episodes, directly in your podcast app. Each one takes about 12 or 13 minutes to listen to, so budget out about half an hour. You're going to think about what the narrator, the teacher, he's an English teacher, the fellow who does these podcasts. Think about what he talks about in terms of critical reading and why it's important, how you can learn to develop your own critical reading skills. Then you're going to read this linked essay blog called Stories or Maps for the Soul. Remember, we're going to start off reading short stories in order to prepare for that literary analysis paper. This is just a reflective essay on reading stories and why that's relevant and meaningful in our busy lives. So you'll read that. Then you will, let me go back to our getting started. Then you'll come down and down here, you're going to do your critical reading journal. That is due Thursday, January 11th. You have, sorry, if I'm off a little bit, I had a little interruption, so I have to pause it. So yeah, you have 5 questions that you need to answer. And ideally, I'd like for you to think about answering these questions in complete sentences and maybe try to do it in paragraph format rather than bulleted answers, because you're going to need to get in the habit of doing that with your reading responses. So this will be due on January 11th. Then finally, I want to address this scavenger hunt. This is going to be due on the 18th, so it's due a ways away, 10 days away from Monday, January 8th. Let me go back to our announcement. So you have this scavenger hunt. The reason why I'm asking you to complete the scavenger hunt is to get you comfortable using the coastal library databases. And this is to prepare first for your literary analysis paper and then later for your literature review in the second half of the semester. You're going to be asked to come up with a series of resources, generally journal articles, but there are a few other things mixed in there. And I want you to turn that into an alphabetized works cited page. So you're not just going to answer it on the worksheet. You're going to actually create an MLA works cited page. So in your getting started week under your materials, if you scroll past the podcast and you need to go all the way down here, you have the worksheet, and I remind you that you need to turn it into an alphabetized works cited page. You have an MLA quick guide for people who forgot from 111, and I know that's easy to do. And then here's just a general link to the coastal databases. And finally, your last little document here is a PDF of the first short story we're going to cover for our reading response unit. It's called The Story of an Hour. It's very short. You can go ahead and get started on it. We're going to do an in-depth guided reading of this story starting on the week of the 15th. So if you want to get a jump start and start thinking about that, I have the story linked right here. All right, so that's our work for the week. It's pretty much introductory work kind of dipping your toes into writing journals and things of that nature. So I will be back on Wednesday or Thursday with a second weekly announcement. Until then, if you have any questions, email me or stop by my office. I'm in CA 106. I'm in my office mostly every day from about 9 to about 3 in the afternoon. All right. Talk to you then.